Title: Wife asked for a divorce. She said, "I want the mansion, the cars, everything except your son." My lawyer and family begged me to fight. I said, "Give it all to her." Everyone thought I'd lost my mind. The pen was heavier than it should have been. Black ink, white paper, a judge watching like God had outsourced judgment to a fluorescent courtroom. My wife smiled across the table. Not relief, anticipation. She'd rehearsed this moment. I could tell by how still she sat. Everything, she'd said months earlier, calm as ordering coffee. The mansion, the cars, the accounts, everything except your son. That was the first cut. Clean, deliberate. My lawyer whispered, urgent, veins in his neck tight. My family begged. Fight, they said. Don't roll over. Don't reward betrayal. I nodded at all of them. Then I leaned back and said the only sentence that mattered. Give it all to her. Gasps, side eyes, pity. The room decided I was broken. Good. We weren't always this. We were a language we invented together. Late nights, quiet victories, shared jokes that died if anyone else heard them. She loved the climb. I loved the work. She loved the image of us more than the us. I missed that. Or maybe I didn't want to see it. The mansion was her idea. So were the cars. We've earned it, she said, as if money was a medal. I believed her when she said she loved our son. I believed her when she said forever. Those were my errors. I own them. Betrayal doesn't announce itself. It leaks. A phone face down. A new password. A laugh that didn't reach her eyes. The smell of a stranger's cologne in my own hallway. I asked once. She smiled and kissed my cheek. I apologized for doubting. Then came the sentence that ended us. Not an affair confession, not even anger, just logistics. I don't want to be a mother, she said. I want to be free. Free costs money. A bank alert I didn't recognize. A shell company formed 2 blocks from her gym. A name I'd seen before, her friend from yoga, suddenly listed as a director. I didn't confront. I listened. Pain is loud. Planning is silent. I hired a forensic accountant who didn't ask why, a private investigator who didn't blink. I moved money without moving money. I turned assets into promises and promises into obligations. I let her think she was winning, while I rewrote the rules of the game she thought she was playing. I slept 4 hours a night. I read contracts like prayers. I learned which signatures mattered and which smiles didn't. I learned how to make wealth heavy, how to salt the ground without anyone noticing the shaker. The house? Transferred into a land trust with a deferred tax liability that blooms like rot. The cars? Leased through an LLC I controlled, balloon payments timed to the quarter. The accounts? Clean. Too clean. All future income routed through performance-based notes contingent on my continued employment I planned to leave. And the company, my company, the crown jewel she bragged about to her friends. I'd already sold a controlling interest, quietly, to a partner with a poison pill clause that triggered upon divorce. She never read the bylaws. She never asked. Why would she? She was busy counting rooms. I gave her everything she asked for, more even. I smiled when her lawyer slid the papers over. I didn't correct the judge when he praised my amicable spirit. Her smile grew as I signed, a slow bloom. Victory tastes sweet when you think it's permanent. Then her lawyer went pale, not metaphorical, clinical. His pen stopped moving. He reread a page, then another. He leaned toward her and whispered. She laughed, once, sharp and confused. He whispered again, louder. His hand shook. "What?" she said. The words snapped. He stood, asked for a recess. The judge frowned, denied it. That's when the room tilted. He explained, carefully. The mansion came with a lien larger than its value. The tax exposure was hers. The cars required payments starting in 30 days. Miss One and the LLC repossessed. The accounts held non-liquid instruments tied to my future labor I was no longer contractually obligated to provide. The company shares, non-voting, subject to dilution, triggered. Already diluted. She turned to me, her eyes searched my face for mercy, found arithmetic. "You said give it all to me," she said.
I did, I said. Read the footnotes. The judge cleared his throat. The courtroom breathed again. The house sold at a loss. The cars disappeared overnight. The friends vanished with the amenities. The man from yoga stopped calling when the bills started arriving. Her attorney resigned. Another one didn't. I kept my son, not as leverage, as truth. He sleeps through the night now. He laughs without checking who's watching. We eat dinner at the table I built before the mansion existed. I resigned from the company the next morning. The notes collapsed. The obligations matured. The ground I salted bloomed exactly as planned. People asked if I felt guilty, if revenge changed me, if I'd gone too far. I tell them this: I didn't take anything from her. I gave her exactly what she asked for. I just made sure it weighed what it should. The last time I saw her, she didn't smile. She didn't speak. She looked older, smaller, like someone who mistook mirrors for windows. I walked past her without stopping. Justice isn't loud. It doesn't gloat. It signs, waits, and lets gravity do the rest. And when the pen finally leaves the page, it's not anger I feel. It's quiet,